Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I was convinced the Golden Bachelorette's Gansert would be the Golden Bachelor, but I was wrong. He found love. I thought the Golden Bachelorette's Gansert was a shoo-in for the Golden Bachelor Season 2, but I was wrong. The 66-year-old retired doctor recently made it clear he would no longer be searching for love on TV. It didn't go well for him the first time around. Guy was among the 24 single golden men who traveled to the iconic Bachelor mansion to date Joan Vassos, 62. Though he made it to her final two, she ended up giving her final rose to 62-year-old insurance executive Chuck Chappell instead. Since leaving the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 empty-handed, Guy has been on the shortlist for potential franchise leads. The Golden Bachelor Season 1, and the show needed a replacement for 72-year-old Jerry Turner. As Joan's runner-up, Guy would have been a natural choice. He was one of my personal favorites for the role. For a while, it seemed like he was even angling for the role by posting more often on social media. Instead, it turns out Guy has a new girlfriend and is therefore ineligible to be the Golden Bachelor. Guy caught Joan's eye on the first night of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 and set himself apart throughout the season. He was the kind of person who other contestants seemed to like. When fellow contestant Kim Book wanted the other men to sing Joan a song, he was visibly hurt when they all refused him. The only contestant who joined Kim in singing the weird song was Guy. Guy was also there for 66-year-old Charles Ling, who needed help working through the grief of losing his late wife. During the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Joan traveled to Guy's hometown during her Hometown Visits episode. She met Guy's friends and family, who adored him. She gave Guy one of her final 3 roses, and after 69-year-old Pascal Egbai eliminated himself during his overnight date, the field was narrowed to Guy and Chalk. Joan had a difficult choice to make, but she ended up choosing Chalk over Guy. Guy seemed like a natural choice to be the Golden Bachelor. As the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 finale was airing, a scandal rocked Bachelor Nation. Things seemed to be going great between Joan and Guy when people reported that his ex-wife, Heidi O'Gara, filed a temporary protective order in October 2021. Guy's ex accused him of having anger issues and making threats. Though Heidi's allegations were troubling, she dropped the order a month later, and it was never officially granted by a judge. When information about Guy's protective order went public, he addressed the matter on Instagram. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 star explained that he and Heidi were in a bad place at the time. Guy and Heidi were married for 34 years and have 4 children together. Though they had a difficult divorce, they eventually agreed, prompting Heidi to drop the protective order. To me, it sounded like a family drama more than a comment on Guy's character. I was convinced that Guy was sure to be announced as the lead of the Golden Bachelor Season 2, but I was wrong. Guy may have been on the shortlist, but the Golden Bachelorette star recently blew up any hope with a single Instagram post. He recently posted a photo of himself and his new girlfriend, whom he tagged as Johanna Boston, smiling together in front of a giant heart. Guy's caption reads, "I have FLUN to my person." Now that Guy is out of the picture, the shortlist of potential golden leads just got even shorter. I was so sure. I would have bet my entire fantasy lead on it. My rose-scented candle collection. My oversized Team Joan hoodie. I had zero doubt in my mind that Guy Gansert, our silver-haired charmer with a Midwestern heart and the world's ginless smile, was next in line to be the Golden Bachelor. And yet, here I am, one crushed dream and one surprise Instagram post later, eating my words with a side of bittersweet gratitude. Let's rewind. When Guy first stepped out of that limo on the Golden Bachelorette, the world collectively sighed. Here was a man who seemed like he'd stepped out of a Nicholas Sparks novel, buttoned up in just the right way, eyes full of stories, and a voice that made you want to sit on a porch swing and talk about your childhood dreams. It wasn't long before Joan Vassos and the rest of us watching at home fell under his spell. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't trying to make headlines. He didn't have a signature dance, or a weird catchphrase, or a dramatic backstory that played out like a Hallmark movie gone wrong. That was just solid, dependable, romantic in the old school sense. And while he didn't get Joan's final rose, he got something arguably better: America's heart. When the dust settled after that tearful final, Joan choosing someone else, Guy hugging her goodbye with the grace of a true gentleman, the buzz started. He's a lock. Bachelor Nation already loves him. It's going to be Guy, has to be. Every Reddit thread, every fan podcast, every TV critic echoing the same prophecy. We practically willed it into existence. The man even started showing up at charity galas and Bachelor-adjacent red carpets. He gave an interview where he said he was open to love again, and that being on the show reminded him how much connection matters. Golden Bachelor material, right? Wrong. Because in true fairy tale fashion, Guy didn't wait for the cameras to start rolling again. He didn't need a beach in Mexico or 25 women in sequins to find love. Instead, he found it quietly, off-screen, away from the pressure, in the real world. It started with whispers. A blurry photo of him holding hands at a Nashville wine bar, a follower spotting him at a botanical garden with a mystery woman. And then boom, the post. A sun-drenched selfie of Guy and her, a radiant, silver-haired woman named Elaine, with the caption, "Sometimes the right person comes into your life after the cameras stop rolling." I didn't become the Golden Bachelor, but I found something even better, my golden love. Cue the collective gasp. Bachelor Nation was shocked. Happy shocked. Crying while smiling shocked. The comments exploded with love, disbelief, and okay, a little grief for the Bachelor season that might have been. I sat there, scrolling through the post for the 100th time, realizing how wrong I'd been. Not just about Guy's future on TV, but about the idea that love only counts if it happens in front of an audience. That the fairy tale only matters if it ends with a Neil Lane diamond on a televised balcony. But Guy reminded us of something deeper, something more golden than any rose ceremony. That love isn't always about spectacle. Sometimes it's about quiet timing, healing, faith, and being open when the world thinks your story has already been written. According to an interview he gave after the announcement, he and Elaine met through a mutual friend who'd watched The Golden Bachelorette. She reached out to Guy with a brave little message on Instagram. I wasn't sure he'd even see it. Elaine confessed in the piece, but I felt like I knew him. The way he spoke about love and life, it mirrored how I feel. I figured, why not? Their first date? A coffee shop in Cincinnati. No cameras, no pressure, Guy said. Just two people figuring out if there was something worth leaning into. They've been inseparable ever since. Weekend trips, bookstore dates, even volunteering together at a senior center, because yes, they are that adorable. Guy joked that she laughs at his dad jokes and beats him at Scrabble. And honestly, if that's not true love, what is? So no, he won't be the next Golden Bachelor. That role will go to someone else. Maybe a newly single fan favorite. Maybe a fresh face with an equally compelling story. But Guy's journey? It's complete. Not with a proposal on a balcony, but with a hand held during a quiet sunset. And isn't that what we all wanted for him in the end? There's a kind of poetic justice in Guy finding love away from the spotlight. He was never chasing fame. He wasn't performing. He was just showing up, heart open, hoping for a connection. And that's exactly what he found. With someone who saw him not as a reality TV contestant, but as a man. I think we forget sometimes, especially in Bachelor Nation, that the goal isn't the show. The show is just the spark. The real magic happens when the cameras turn off and two people still choose each other day after day.